What's going on to all you Capricorns? You have the Temperance, a Nine of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, Four of Swords, the Judgment, the Five of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and last but not least, you have the Eight of Wands. So what I'm seeing here is how a lot of you Capricorns, honestly speaking, I'm seeing how a lot of you Capricorns just deserve way better treatment. Way better treatment. The Temperance is about learning how to control your temperament, right? The Temperance, it always represents that. It always represents that higher forms of knowledge is coming in, right? Once you don't react to things and you don't react to people trying to get you upset and trigger you, right? And just learn to calm down and see what comes and see what's happening so that you know how to move yourself. The Nine of Wands represents them trying to essentially get on your nerves. The Nine of Wands is about how they're trying to use, victimhood as meaning the people that you used to hang out with try to use victimhood as a means of disrespect, right? You did something to them, therefore they now have enough justification to say this to you, to do that to you, right? When all of that stuff is pretty much just game. It's delusion, it's dysfunction. The Three of Pentacles, and they're based off of something that may have happened in the past. And to be honest with you, it may not be necessarily something that happened in the past. Because that's the other part of the story, that when it comes to playing these games, that people don't want to admit to. Sometimes it's not even about them experiencing anything that happened in the past. They take and internalize other people's stories, and then they come out here and then they essentially disrespect other people. Just like that. And this is why it is that I say that people who play games, they're not all right. They're not all the way there. The lights are on as far as the home goes, but there's nobody home, because these are people who can't see the forest for the trees. So this is your past. So now you're taking these type of life lessons that you've learned now and you're implementing it. The Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups is all about how, yes, people are going to have to do some form of work in order for them to be able to get to you, because a lot of you Capricorns are done with allowing people to just come on in and just do everything halfway, don't put in any kind of work, and they just throw you away. Honestly speaking, you Capricorns should have been done with that years ago. Because see, you Capricorns deal with the left pillar, on the Kabbalistic tree, the left pillar of severity, along with Mercury and Mars and Saturn, right? Mercury, Mars, Saturn, not necessarily in that order, are on the Kabbalistic tree of the left-hand pillar of severity in orange, red, and black. That's the left-hand side. So with that being said, Saturn, since y'all are ruled by Saturn, Saturn has to deal with understanding, higher levels, right? Which is what I was talking about, higher levels of knowledge that once you've passed through the experiences and certain things, now you've gained so much experience and knowledge and wisdom and power to the point where you see a lot of things for what they are, and you can essentially control it because you know the inner workings of how things work. So now you can use it to your advantage. And see, the thing is that that's the type of mentality that you Capricorns need to have. You Capricorns need to examine with yourselves, understand why they acted like this, understand where you went wrong, and then now understand what kind of games, what happens in that. Because a lot of times people don't really recognize when someone is running a game with them, right? They think that a person who's terrible for them is telling them the truth, when part of the reason why a lot of people get themselves into dysfunctional relationships in general, 80% of it is really from people not necessarily being very good judges of character in the first place. Like I keep talking about, that people keep ignoring and acting like only the money matters. Okay, but you're not really going to reap or get any of the benefits from what it is that you think, and unless you're dealing with character, I'm telling you. But I know some people are going to be hard-headed, and they're not going to listen to what I have to say. Good luck to them. That's all it is I have to say. But the Four of Swords, the Judgment, and the Five of Swords now represents, the Four of Swords is about you being at peace, because you understand that people are going to have to put in an effort. Like I've been saying, people will have to put in an effort to get to know you. Relationships are not one-sided, and that it should be reciprocal, right? So how there's 2 swords up, 2 swords down, there's 4 swords, even, it's an even number. Both of you get 2. You can share it amongst yourselves. It's divisible by 2. This is a type of reciprocation that I'm talking about. The 2 of you can feel like an equal. The 2 of you can feel on equal grounds. But see, like I said before, the problem with modern day relationships is ego, huge egos. You get yourself into a relationship, one person wants to finesse and leech off of the other person. The other person is, one person or both people are tripping out about how they have to grow up and have responsibilities and pay the bills. Yes, paying the bills and managing and budgeting are a part of growing up. But like I said before, the ideal relationship is a relationship that where 2 people can exist in, and 2 people can have responsibilities and handle their responsibilities without either of them tripping about it, and still manage to like each other and work together, right? So the Judgment and the Five of Swords represent how, again, those people from the past were not those types of people that can actually be functional in a relationship. So what does all of this stuff mean, Capricorn? So what this means is, this is a reading about how you're taking your knowledge. You're taking your knowledge that you have received, your higher form of education that you have received from your experience and from your interactions with others, and what you've been learning through life and what you've been learning here, and you're now using it, which is good, because that's what I want you to do in the first place. And you Capricorns are realizing that just what it is that I was talking about. A relationship is not about one person having the burden of 2 people. It's about both of those people knowing what they should do, or finding something constructive to themselves and the relationship to do, right? Being enthusiastic about doing it. Essentially, learning how to grow up. Learning how to grow up. Not saying that you can't have fun, because for some odd reason, people equate growing up with not having fun. No. You can have fun if you want. What I'm talking about is also understanding the balance between the 2. Responsibility, fun. Duties and responsibilities, fun and leisure. It's a balancing act, right? And knowing when and where to uphold and which one matters more given the particular situation. If you go on vacation, right, which one is going to matter more? Which one should have more precedent or more value over the other? If you call yourself going on vacation, should duties and responsibilities, now again, you done walked away from your job for the however long because of the vacation. You done left all your normal duties and responsibilities that you would have wherever you live. Which one would have more precedent given a particular situation? Is it duties and responsibilities, or is it having fun? It's having fun, because you have that situational awareness to understand, since you're on vacation, what takes more precedent is fun over responsibility. When you're back home, when you're in your residence, that's when duties and responsibilities are there. But you could still have fun even when you're back home. But then the thing is that the Queen of Cups and the Eight of Wands now represent. So as a result of this, okay, this is about how you Capricorns will change some things up and interact with other people. So it's more, one of the things that you Capricorns will do is you Capricorns will have more of a discussion with the people that you're trying to get to know, really asking them questions to find out if these people are even suitable to even really be in a relationship. And that's a wonderful thing that a lot of you Capricorns are implementing. You're absolutely right. You should be asking some questions. The truth is that part of the reason why people end up getting played is because they're doing a halfway job. They're not asking questions. They're running themselves right into a relationship with somebody, and they're not even asking any questions. And then for the most part, right? For the most part, not every last situation, but for the most part. And then they want to wonder, well, why is it that things don't work out for them? Because you're not asking these people questions. You're not really taking the time to ask these people questions before you decide to start hanging out with them. You just decided that you're going to start hanging out with them. You ran too fast in this relationship. So in order for you to make sure, Capricorn, that you don't go through situations like this, the best thing for you Capricorns to honestly do is for you Capricorns to understand that ask these people some more questions. Ask them real serious questions. Ask them about their dating history. Pay attention to them. Pay attention to what they have to say. Pay attention to if they get upset about their dating history. Do pay attention to if they would like to go back and change their dating history based upon what it is that they know now. If they telling you that they wouldn't change their dating history and they haven't made any kind of mistake, put it like this. Let me be more accurate. If they are telling you that they wouldn't like to change certain things about their dating history, then that's how you know that they're lying. Because everybody, without exception, has things about their past that they wish they would have done better. So if a person is telling you, yeah, I'm proud of myself, all of that stuff is a lie. So ask them about that, right? Another thing that you can do, right, is ask them what's their parents like. You really want to know what exactly is going on with them as far as in the household that they grew up in. What was it? Did they grow up, unfortunately, in foster care? Did they grow up with one parent? Did they grow up with both parents? What was their parents like? Was both of their parents able to work together in a cohesive marriage? Was it a relationship? What degree of marriage are we talking about? There's different degrees of marriage. So anyway, let's move forward. So let's clarify the Queen of Cups, the Hangman, the Moon, the Ace of Pentacles, right, the Temperance, right. You are justified in being more suspicious. You should have been more suspicious the whole time. You should have been asking questions. That's what the Hangman represents. The Moon represents having to take some time to really clarify what exactly you yourself wants from relationships. Because if the goal is not to evolve, if the goal is not to become a better you, if the goal is not to inspire the person that you're in a relationship with to become the better you and to create family, either amongst yourselves and or multiply that family, then that means that a lot of you Capricorns may have your mentality in the wrong place. So the moon is about how you need to learn to reflect about what it is that you really want. But you are more suspicious about how people interact with you. And you should have been a long time ago. You should be suspicious now, and you should have been a long time ago by asking people questions to find out who and what they really are, so that you can do, so that based upon what they're telling you and the time that you're interacting with them and what you're seeing, to see if their actions and their words match up. Take all of that stuff into account and make the decision for yourself whether or not these people are worth you interacting with them. The Ace of Pentacles and the Temperance now represents use your higher form of education. Use that. That's one of your greatest tools in which you can use. So if you found value within this reading, then it means it's time for you to come get a personal reading from me. There's a link in the comment section called the link tree. Click on it. It'll redirect you to a website in which you can find ways to support me through social media, right? Financially, not always financially, but my Instagram page, you can follow me there. Shout outs to you people who have followed me through my Instagram. My Amazon book, the books that I have that are on Amazon, because I am an author. I'm actually in the process of creating my third book. My clothing store, which I have shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, right? My private tarot readings. Click on private tarot reading. It'll redirect you to my website, in which I have the rates, how much I charge, how much time you're getting, the description, as well as my Cashapp, ways that you can pay me, my Cashapp cash tag. Up under it, it'll have the buy now button. Now my Cashapp cash tag is for Cashapp, okay, and Apple Pay. And below that is buy now button, which is for PayPal. So if you don't necessarily want to pay me through PayPal, you can click on the buy now button. But if you don't necessarily want to pay me through PayPal, then you can pay me through Cashapp or Apple Pay. And if you need any kind of help setting that up, then you can always feel free to contact me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com. Thank you. Peace.